What is going on, guys? Today is Thursday and we are about to eat some super spicy wings. Today I had another video planned, but things didn't go as planned. The weather didn't work out, so now we're going full sellout mode, doing a live Twitch AMA where I eat spicy hot wings. The first one is Yucatan, second one Marie Sharp, third one black garlic, fourth one is Ex Haresco, and the fifth one is Da Bomb. Again, we're live on Twitch, so if you're there in the chat room, you guys feel free to ask me anything as I eat these wings. It's just like the show Hot Ones, except less hot, more live, and more fun. So let's get started with the Yucatan hot wing. Not that bad. I'm gonna try to talk with my mouth open, because I'm both the guest and the host. What is my least favorite trick in skateboarding? You guys like this chewing noises? My least favorite trick in skateboarding is any trick where you go out of your way to make it easier. Like, say there's a handicap rail, and you think to yourself, oh, this would be too high to ollie. Well, you know what I can do? I can reach down, grab my skateboard, grab the rail, slide my ass over it, and then put my skateboard under my feet, and then land it, and we can call it skateboarding. I feel like there's so much of that going down in skateboarding lately. And the no comply. That was a delicious wing. The no comply is a trick where I'm sure it takes a little bit of time to learn it, but you're literally putting your foot on the ground. So it's a trick that you can do at 500 pounds. It takes no real pop, no real athleticism. You just put your foot on the ground. Sure, it takes a little bit of timing, but you're taking a trick like the 180 and you're making it super easy. I think that's the main reason why people hate on early grabs in tranny, because for you to go up and do a big backside melon, that requires, you know, skill. But for you to go do an early grab front side indie, it can almost be learned. As long as you have basic balance, you can then do that trick. And what I think maybe annoys skateboarders is when a non-skateboarder sees those two tricks back to back, they see a blasted fucking backside melon, and then you see an early grab front side indie. Some people might look at that and go, oh, those guys are equally skilled. Wow. And then the skateboarder's like, no, motherfucker, I'm doing the hard trick. That guy's doing the pussy trick. They're totally fucking different. Next wing, Marie Sharps. Dan says, yo, Ninja, have you ever smoked too much weed? I was never really a weed smoker ever, but if you guys remember, earlier this year, or no, late last year, we did a weed smoking stream, and we did it for an autism charity, and I think we're gonna do that again this year. So let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in, and if you guys have any ideas for something like that. Let's go. I never know how to eat these ones. I always feel like I'm doing this weird, like, tonguing between the fucking bones action. Never works out for me. Certainly got a little bit hotter, but we're not even anywhere near when it's gonna get super hot. Murky D asks, my worst injury skating. Let me chew this shit up. I'm sweating, like, number one, because it's kind of hot in this room, but just the fumes from these last three ones are getting into, like, my eyes, and they're making me sweat. What was the question again? My worst injury, I was in Utah somewhere, and I went to frontside kickflip over this tranny gap. So think it's like a quarter pipe, and then nothing, and then another quarter pipe. So I was doing a kickflip, kind of like a frontside flip, and I landed it a few times, really clean. And then for some reason I was going for it again. I don't know if maybe somebody was filming. Actually, there's no one filming because I have no footage of this. I did the frontside flip, and I landed with my front foot on the board, and my back foot didn't land on the board, so it sort of dragged behind, and as it dragged behind, my upper body went back. So my knee bent sideways, and my head went back, and sort of like my foot sort of laterally came towards my head, and my knee popped super hard, and I couldn't walk. Funny story is, this was a trip I went on with wheels. It's the guy in the wheelchair on Nitro Circus. We were both there. And I literally could not walk. And I don't know why I thought it was a good idea. I still do think it was a good idea. I was like, hey, can I like piggyback on your wheelchair? Or maybe you could help me, or maybe I could ride in the wheelchair because I know you have two. And he was like, yeah, right. Because I don't think he realized how hurt I was. I didn't like scream in pain, but I knew that I was not able to walk. So that fucking asshole kept his wheelchair to himself because he has spina bifida when I fucking have a hurt knee. Bitch, you could have gave up your wheelchair for me. What the fuck is up with that? Rain Man had a follow-up question. What's the worst injury I've witnessed in person? And we have another one of these fucking flat wings. I don't understand why. If I could just get only the other wings, you know what? I am the wing equivalent to a no comply. I only want the easy wings. You know what? Let's rip it in half. Look at what do I do with this? Hanging by a thread. It's getting hot now though. I knew this was gonna be messy. I knew it. I hope you guys can't hear how weird like my munching is right now. I can feel sweat going down the sides. Oh, that was a big jump. You know what? We're no longer in a tropical background. We're going into the desert right now. Holy shit. These last two are gonna be so bad. So insanely bad. Rain Man asked, what's the worst injury I've seen? I watched my friend Little Matt break his arm, and the bone went through his arm, and he covered it up, and he walked all hunched up like this and covered it up, and then as soon as the EMT or whatever told him to remove his hand, he opened it, and then blood just poured out of his arm. And that was like the second worst one. The first worst one I ever saw was in Arizona. I was on a trip with Gonzo and Matt Zacopola and Saeed, the photographer, and a bunch of other people. I think we might have been meeting up with some of the Happy Medium crew. And we were skating this stair set with this guy, Tim, and he went for early grab. Oh my God, easy version of skateboarding again. Serves him right. He went for early grab, melon 180. And he stuck it pretty good. And he kind of touched his hand. So he went to do it again. And he tried it again. And he slipped out. And he smacked the back of his head on the ground so hard that he smacked it once and then went unconscious. And then he bounced up and smacked it again while he was already unconscious. And as we walked up to him, like you knew, once you heard that thud, you knew that somebody was going to be fucked for life. So blood started pouring out of his ears. Weird, like, thick blood. And then he started seizing up a little bit. And I remember it was, like, really late at night. And I had a bunch of beers. And I was like, fuck, dude, like, our beer party's over. But also, I just watched the guy die. And I've never been that scared for a person falling on a skateboard. Like, I can watch somebody get hurt on TV. I can watch Scarred or Hall of Meat and not even flinch at all for the most part, except for some knee injuries. If I watch a knee bend backwards, it really hurts my feelings. But when people hit their heads, it's usually not that bad. But to be there live and to watch blood pour out of somebody's ear, it was a really scary experience. And I remember we drove back home and the car was totally silent. And I was like, fuck, dude, like, we all just witnessed something super heavy. I hope that guy's okay. And it turns out he was okay. He had, like, really bad brain swelling, and now he can't smell anymore. And if you guys do some Google searching, you guys can find the video on the Thrasher website. If you guys Google it, search Tim Vasquez Thrasher, and you guys can watch the video of him falling, eating shit. I think he even tried to fight the EMTs at some point, because when your brain's all swelling and fucked up, it doesn't think right. And we had this weird, like, inside joke for that entire trip, because I was making fun of my friend Matt's pants, and I was like, oh, it look like you have a nice pant. Oh, nice pint you have right there. You want to drink some vodka? And it doesn't sound funny to you guys because you guys aren't stupid. Because I'm stupid. I laugh at dumb shit. So we're just laughing about that the whole time. And we're driving back in this quiet fucking van. And Saeed's like, dude, it almost looked like, his blood almost looked like, never mind, I don't want to say it. And we were like, come on, man, you gotta fucking say it. It's a quiet ass. You're cutting the tension. What's going on? He's like, the blood almost looked like paint. Oh, not funny at all, but I remember I was like, oh, dude, you're the winner. You're the winner of that one. The Light Skin TV says, when am I going to make another mini ramp video? Well, much like my stomach's about to be, my mini ramp is completely destroyed, and I don't think any human being can skate it right now. So let's go ahead and jump into the X Horesco. This is going to be a much spicier wing. Let's fucking go. That was number 4. I'm not looking forward to number 5. Okay, we are definitely way hotter than... That was a huge jump. Okay, what was my most successful moment in skateboarding? So, I rode for a team called Industrial, and it was this big popular team here. Oh man, before we had a pharmacy, we had Industrial. It was in the mall. It was kind of like Zoomies. They had locations in California and in Arizona. Oh man, it was kind of like the hot team to be on. So I went in there and I asked like the general manager or whatever, or whoever was in charge, if I could be on the team. And they said, yeah, sure you can be on the team if you win the Las Vegas skateboarding finals. Now it was a chick. She said that as if there was no possible way I could ever win it, because first off, we had like a 9-month-long series where you had a tournament every month, like a skate contest, and if you won one of those contests from the first 8 months, then you're now qualified for the last one. So I fucking was already qualified. That shit was like a couple weeks away. I went in there and I skated my fucking ass off, harder than I've ever skated before. And even though I was kind of nervous skating that particular contest, I fucking focused and got it together because I had kind of a goal to reach for. I always wanted to be on that team for some reason. Actually, it was kind of dumb because later that team ended up to not be shit. But I ended up getting on the team. I won the fucking first heat, okay? Then I won the second heat. Then I won the whole thing. Then I won best trick. And on Monday, I fucking took that trophy. I went right into the mall, walked right in there, and I was like, boom, where's my sponsorship, bitch? I didn't say it like that, but I was kind of like, hey, I know the only reason that you gave me this bullshit fucking hoop to jump through is because you don't think there's any possible way I can pull this off. And I felt like such a badass. I mean, obviously I'm making it a much more dramatic story than it is, but I felt like such a badass when this person gave me a task that they thought was impossible, and I ended up pulling it off with like the most flying colors ever. And that final event was at Metro, and I still have the trophy. It's a big old fat trophy, and it was really cool, and I feel like I really deserved it. Funny side story, I got kicked off that team. Not because I wasn't doing anything. I got kicked off that team because the new skate team manager, he wanted to put his son on the team, and I was the team rider that he knew the least because he lived across town, so he didn't know me, but he knew the other team members. So I got kicked off just so a 7-year-old kid could take my place. And I remember he told me, he's like, yeah, we got to drop you from the team. It's because the guys at corporate, they want to take the team in a younger direction. And I just believed him, and I fucking, packed up my shit and got off, and I got on a team called Area 702. But I remember a couple months later, I ran into those guys from corporate, the people that owned the entire thing, and they were asking like, hey, what happened to you? Like, we just one day just stopped hearing about you. And I was like, yeah, this guy kicked me off because he said he wanted to put his son on the team, and he said he said you guys wanted to take the team in a new direction. And they were like, dude, that never fucking happened. That was a complete lie. So that was how I got on Industrial and then got off Industrial. That shit was pretty fucking whack. I'm sweating so hard. Funniest trick I ever landed? I have no idea. Okay, I'm kind of not looking forward to this last swing. Let's get a good question going. Flawless Rhyme asks, what is the worst type of food. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. Look at this deformed. Look, that's his thumb coming off right there. Actually, we're about to get out from hot. We're going straight to hell, goddammit. Oh no. Should have done that lick. Oh my god. I'm like fidgeting, dude. It's hot, dude. Oh my god. Okay. What is the worst type of food? I'll tell you how they go in order. Okay? Oh man. Anything too spicy is always gonna be okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, the top 2 worst foods in the world are Whataburger is the second worst. And that, I can't think. That shit they have in Ohio. That noodle. That sauce ain't shit. Handle that like a champ. 2 worst foods in America. Second worst food is Whataburger. First worst food is Skyline. If I've never explained what Skyline is, oh man. They take the shittiest noodles of all time. Think like ramen noodles, but skinnier but shittier. Think like super overcooked spaghetti that's expired and sits in a pot for 3 days and it gets really soft and shitty. And then they put chili sauce but with chocolate on it. And it's not like meaty chili. It's like watered down. It's like chili if they only squeezed out the chili water and like crushed out just the water and they crushed that over the shitty like mutant fucking prison noodles. And then they take American cheese and let's say they have, oh man, this much noodles and this much chili. Then they put this much cheese on top of it. The whole restaurant smells like shit. Everything's just terribly like processed, awful garbage food. And then they sell hot dogs too. But the hot dogs don't really have like a screen over them. They just sit like in the middle of the room. So any bug or if a person coughs or sneezes or anything happens near the hot dog, it all goes like onto the hot dog. And sometimes if you're really stupid, you can combine like the chili water with the hot dog and the prison noodles and the fucking 9 pounds of American cheese. And you can look at it and all put it in one and you can eat it. First time Johnny Geiger had it, he threw up. First time Jason Park had it, he threw up. Josh Katz probably wouldn't even eat that shit. Too smart. 2,000 IQ. It's the worst food ever. Now let me talk about Whataburger. Whataburger is this place that Texas people have brainwashed themselves into enjoying. It's almost like, I would imagine your first time like drinking beer is kind of bad and then you kind of wean into it. Can you imagine? It's like heroin though. Like the first time they do it, they overdose on like a terribly bad trip and then it convinces their mind. It changes the wiring of their brain to actually enjoy this trash. Think about Burger King if it was run by 4-year-olds and if it was open late. That's the reason they like it too, because nothing out there is open 24/7, so they're just down to eat it. Like, I'm not saying Taco Bell is the best food ever, but at 2 in the morning, you're like, oh, okay, 2 in the morning, I guess I'll have some Taco Bell. That won't be too bad. If you had Taco Bell next to a Whataburger at 2 a.m., no logical human being on earth would ever choose Whataburger over Taco Bell if they both happen to be open late. But unfortunately, out there, they don't allow Taco Bells because they're all like super Mexican pride, dude. Fuck Taco Bell. But Whataburger, I don't understand it. They like it, and they pronounce it Waterburger, which is probably the only thing they season it with. It's just water. It's just ground beef, and then they just pour some water on it, and then they put it in a shitty bun, and then they feed it to Texas people. Yeah. It's really bad news, man. And they're not even like big. It's not like everything's bigger in Texas. No, everyone's bigger in Texas because they're eating Whataburger all goddamn day long. Fucking water seasoning bullshit. Whataburger and fucking Skyline use the same ingredients. Water and shit. That's all they use. And whatever you can find in like a prison cell. Dirt and fucking spit. That's all they use. It's terrible. It's disgusting. Well, we've eaten all those wings and I feel really accomplished. Let's answer one more question so we can call this a fucking video because my lips are burning. System Shock TV. How did I meet Andy and the Revive skateboard team? I don't remember the first time I met Andy, but I do remember a little show we used to have called Shredcast. It was a podcast that I did with Andy Schrock, Doug Desautel, Josh Katz, and Basquith. And we talked about skate news, local news. It was kind of like Stop Crying Poser, but with other people's opinions and ideas. Unlike my podcast, where I only give my opinion and ideas. So my shit's really one-sided. Shredcast was, it was a nice blend of differing personalities on different subjects. So I would imagine we met somehow through that. But one thing I am happy that came from the Shredcast podcast is that I did get to meet all those people. And someone asked me earlier, way before we even started doing this, during the pre-show when I was talking to you guys through everything, they asked what in skateboarding inspires me. And some of the people that really inspire me are the people that do what I do and understand like how much of a grind this can be. Anyone who's doing YouTube right now, their shit at any moment could get completely shut down and there would be like no unemployment, no backup plan, nobody to complain to, no better business bureau, no Yelp, no nothing. You would just be out on your fucking ass. And considering how hard all these YouTubers work and how independent they are, people like John Hill, people like Andy Schrock, even Brian Ames, everyone who's grinding for something and has turned skateboarding into something even bigger. You know, even outside merchandise. Andy Schrock's out there doing charity events and shit like that. Braille is doing, you know, things for beginners and charity and just helping the general population of skateboarding. And those guys are really, really inspiring to me because all they do is grind. Grind. There's no fucking days off. There's no fucking, really no time to even sit back and admire your work because they're so focused on the future and improving what they're doing. Always trying to come out with a better product. Always trying to come up with a new idea or project. And I'm happy to be associated with those guys. And I feel like maybe that might have never happened without good old-fashioned Shredcast. Also, shout out to Metro. You know the Metro Instagram, they used to be a really popular channel. They still are, in fact, but Metro actually is one of the first people to get all the Shredcast crew together. So extra big shout out to Joel at Metro. That's going to be it for me. I really enjoyed your guys' questions. I thought I would do better on that last wing. I feel like I kind of blew it. I felt like I could be a tough guy, but here's the thing. When I eat those wings at, like, the dinner table with all my friends sitting around and we're giggling at each other and we're all getting hot, the difference is I'm not talking. So when I do this shit and I'm talking, it completely changes the whole game. In fact, it burned so bad, my face started to go numb and sort of like what do you call that, where it's like pumping blood or whatever? Gyrate? I don't know that word, but my shit started like pulsating, and then I couldn't think right. My fucking brain wouldn't work right, so I had to take the headphones off. You know what? I'm not invincible. I am but a man just like you guys. And speaking of inspiration, I hope I can inspire you guys to do great things. I'm feeling great now, man. Let's go back to the tropical background. I'm feeling great now. I'm happy I got this shit done, and I want to thank everyone who showed up here live and everyone who asked a question, because you guys really got me out of a bind today, because this is going to go on YouTube tomorrow. I did not have a video planned, or I did, but things didn't work out. So thank you guys for being a part of this. I hope you guys had a good time here watching me get really hot. And anyone out there who says, I could fucking do that, that ain't shit, I could pull that off, go out there, buy a bottle of Da Bomb and try it. I've told you guys before on the TV show Hot Ones, Da Bomb is the worst fucking one. If you take out all the sound effects and bullshit and theatrics and you just look at the guest's face, every time they eat Da Bomb, that's the worst one. They just go, oh, fuck my life. All that last dab bullshit, sure, maybe it's kind of hot, but Da Bomb is the fucking truth. I will see you guys next time. Kuna Matata, bitches.